Hello there, wrestling fans. It's time for my Survivor Series prediction videos for the Survivor Series 2010 pay-per-view. This time I will not spend about 5 minutes on a 5-minute anatomy lesson like I did in my last prediction video for bragging rights. However, I will open up by saying that WWF Old School Raw 3 hours last night was great. Great to see wrestlers like George the Animal Steel, Jim Ross calling a match, and the dichotomy, I think you said in English, dichotomy between Jim Ross and Michael Cole. However, I think they almost talked too much during that match, and mainly that's Michael Cole. Jack Swagger versus Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan winning again. That's a great potential, two great potential wrestlers, and the match that they can pull off in the future, these two guys, there's no limit on how good that match could be. Apparently Daniel Bryan will now feud with Teddy DiBiase, who's looking to gain another belt that wasn't handed to him, as he told his father, the $1 Million Man, in the back. I also want you to go in and visit my video, What's a True Heel? It's going to be a link somewhere around here. I want to know what's a true wrestling heel. I'm going to make a video about that in the future. People have said, I don't want any wrestlers. Don't say Triple H, JBL, because that doesn't really say anything. So Triple H what? What did Triple H do? What did JBL do? Yeah, they were great heels. But I want now, it's cool to receive, of course, names on who has been great heels in the past. But I want to know, what did they do that made the wrestlers, no names whatsoever, just specific antics, actions, characteristics. What does a great heel do? I've received great suggestions, such as backing out of a match. You'll never see a face back out of a match, but a heel does. Sheamus did last night against John Morrison. He backed out. You'll never see a face do that. They take shortcuts. That's typical heel. They take shortcuts. They think about only materialistic values. Sure, they don't care about relations. They care about themselves, gold, money, and whatever, and luxury. That's the typical heel. More things like this. What do they do in the ring, and what makes them stand out from the face wrestlers? What differs them from the face wrestlers? Now I'm going to go into the predictions, and I have made notes actually. I'm going to show up for every match on something new I'm trying. I did it for the King of the Ring predictions video, and there are 6 matches as of now. First match that I'm going to put up here, this is the Survivor Series Elimination match, the only one that has been announced so far. It's Team Mysterio with Ray, Big Show, it's MVP, Chris Masters, and who else was it? It was, of course, Kofi, I think I forgot. And Team Del Rio with Alberto Del Rio, Tyler Rex, Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes, and Swagger. And this match is going to be good, I hope. What I don't understand, I've been taking up some notes here, is Team Gathering, Team Spirit. How did this team come together? We know Team Mysterio versus Rey Mysterio versus Alberto Del Rio, they have been having something going on, but how did the team gather? I think that's essential to motivate the match, because this feels kind of thrown together. And fighting whose battle? I mean, when you throw a team like this together with no common agenda, can you really expect them to keep their head in the right place? So I don't understand this. Yeah, we know Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre had something in common, but they fought on a recent, verbally on a recent SmackDown episode. Their team is over, and what I mean by that is I would prefer to see other Survivor Series elimination matches, such as Team Miz versus Team Big Show. They had something going with PB Hummer. They could have continued that as a revenge match from the bragging rights pay-per-view. Team Miz versus Team Big Show. Now Big Show is in Ray's team, I mean fighting race battles after he himself captaining a team at the bragging rights. Don't see how this thing really unfolded, and why it kind of foiled the dynamic that was from the bragging rights pay-per-view. Then we could have had, that we'll come back to later, Team Sheamus versus Team Morrison. And that would be a great dynamics, because in Team Sheamus you could have had Sheamus and the Usos and one more guy, and in Team Morrison, John Morrison, and you tag team champions, the #1 contenders for the tag team championships, Vladimir Kozlov. and Santino Marella, because in the other team was the Usos, and then a fourth guy. What were great dynamics, because they had common enemies in each team, and you also had Team Sheamus versus Team Morrison. You can build these feuds up and then have the match at TLC. And then you could also have had Team Mysterio versus Team Del Rio. 3 Survivor Series elimination matches. I would love to see those matches. So 1 SmackDown match, 1 Raw match, 1 Raw versus SmackDown match. Now it's just, I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't like it. Then the next match is this mess. The Tag Team Championship, the Nexus, Heath Slater, Justin Gabriel takes on the newly crowned #1 contenders for the Tag Team Championships, who actually defeated the Usos on Raw, which surprised me, considering I thought they were going to push the Usos now with Superfly Jimmy Snuka there. Great to see him, by the way. And whom do I think? Well, I think the Nexus will retain. I can say, by the way, I think Alberto Del Rio's team will win in that match, and I think he will be pushed on to become the King of the Ring. And here, of course, you got to take into consideration the Nexus factor of the match. That's number 1, the Nexus factor. There are more Nexus members. Will they interfere in the match? Will they cause a? It will be a numbers game, and in what way will they possibly intervene? This is also Heath Slater's and Justin Gabriel's first match standing out from the Nexus. How will that affect them mentally in the game? Also, I have this second note. If the Nexus or Santino Marella or Kozlov should win this match, it's all about how WWE thinks about the Nexus's fate. Because if they're going to go on to be the strong entity, the strong faction, and possibly with Wade Barrett winning the championship, I think that the Nexus has to keep the Tag Team Championships to stay in that. And I can see that WWE are finished with the Nexus already. So I think they will retain the titles. So just remember, I did it like this. The Nexus will retain the Tag Team Championship. Then we have this singles match that I don't prefer to see, because I would like to see it as a Survivor Series elimination match. John Morrison versus Sheamus. Power Game versus Speed Game. He's been sneak attacking Sheamus for 4 weeks. We all know that's the way he needs to take care of things, because Sheamus is twice his size. And it's all about, is this up-and-comer finally going to break through? We've seen John Morrison on the verge of going somewhere for a long time, and he's not really been there and gone all the way. I said since 2007 that this guy could be a major player. Is he finally going to be it? For this night, I'll have to say no. I think Sheamus is going to win this match and get some revenge, because he's been owned by John Morrison in the last couple of weeks. Then we have the Divas Championship. 2-on-1 Laycool wrestles Natalya. It's 2-on-1. The Broken Hearts comes into consideration. The dissension within the Hart Dynasty. They have broken up. Tyson Kidd kicked D.H. Smith in the head. But since then we also see Natalya distance herself from the Hart Dynasty, which she needs to do if she's going to acquire some success. Because as long as she is with Tyson and D.H. Smith, she won't go anywhere, as they are falling apart. So she needs to go out on her own. She's done that. 3rd time's the charm. She's lost 2 times already. She won via disqualification. The odds are stacked against her, but Natalya is going to win this match, despite what everyone thinks, and it's going to mean a lot, because she's chasing that title for a long time. Then we have the World Heavyweight Championship. Kane versus Edge. Can Edge really win the title? The Nexus aid at bragging rights. They had helped The Undertaker, helped Kane beating The Undertaker at bragging rights. We don't still know the entire picture of this. We saw, however, Kane helped David Otunga win. He attacked Edge. Is there something in grooming there? We don't know. If it is, it will be a hard time for Edge to come out as the winner. Paul Bearer was, as I said, man-napped. Oh, like kidnapped. He's not really a kid. So man-napped. How will that affect Kane? Could affect him. Paul Bearer, after all, helped Kane win at Hell in a Cell, and also aided Kane at bragging rights along with Nexus. Anyways, I think Kane will retain. He lost to Big Show, so there might be coming something there between the two. Then it's the free or fired match. John Cena isn't even wrestling, but he's still in the focal point of the match. I have a little hard time accepting that free or fire doesn't have anything to do with these guys. It has to do with that guy who isn't even in the match more than as a referee. Still very interesting, you have to believe, because you can't really see is Wade Barrett or Orton going to win, but considering the ramifications from the match, what happens if either one of them wins, I'll have to say Wade Barrett wins. The next is barred from ringside. It's a no DQ, meaning if Kane, the Nexus have some sort of a plot or in cahoots, they might help each other out. So I have to say Wade Barrett, as long as they will have the tag team belts as well. David Otunga might be on his way to something. I think WWE's booked is really well, interesting. Orton, Cena attacking each other. Fans don't know what to think. Share your thoughts and have a nice day.